Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Celestial Farm Girl here. I hope everybody is doing awesome today. I love y'all. I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July and that, that you just rocked it out, camping, campfires. Uh, that's how I used to do, my 4th of July. I had a wonderful 4th of July. I sat out on the front porch, watched fireworks, watched everybody just barbecue, have a good time. It was awesome. My kids was here with me and then people that live upstairs. We didn't do much, just kind of hung out and watched everybody else do their thing and observed. So it wasn't bad. This is a reading for Divine Masculines. I just want to thank everybody for your likes, shares, subscribes, your love that you send to me. The beauty that you are is the beauty that will be soon upon this planet, right? That's what we're doing. We're transplanting and changing things around. This reading is also for the Divine Masculine. Yeah, I forgot to say that at the beginning, but I will put it on the title. That way everybody will know. Really deep today, okay? So I decided to pull my archetype cards ahead of time so that I could study them a little bit. And we got the underworld for the Divine Masculine read. Really intense. But anything that is intense or that you're afraid of or that you don't want to face, these are the things where we find our power. We need to push through the darkness, that underlying fear and rejection of what we don't know, so that we can actually face the truth of who we are and love ourselves right where we are. Okay, so I'm going to read the underworld. I highlighted a couple things on it. It's no time to mince words. The archetypical territory of the underworld is fraught with nightmares, suffering, and pain. It is the darkest shadow realm, which we try vigilantly to avoid or deny at any cost. Try as we might, the darkness pulls us into its depths through disturbing dream images, unexpected accidents, illness, war, conflict, and ultimately death. Not visiting the underworld or denying its existence altogether is what gives it dangerous power. Traversing it forces us to humbly accept that there are greater forces that be, while summoning the inner strength we previously underestimated we had. Take solace that the underworld subsumes everyone from time to time, making us deeper friends, more intimate partners, soldiers of light amid our shadowy times. Facing darkness and choosing light is the most profound calling of all. So to face darkness and to still choose the light, you got to dig your way out of there. So, the dark parts of ourself, or the parts of ourself that we don't love and we put to the side, that becomes our underworld. That each one of us carry the underworld with us, basically, is kind of what I'm getting a gist of. And each one of us have a different hell, right? Not all of us are going to go to the same hell. We're not all going to be there. But we create that hell through not acknowledging our darker parts of ourselves and working on managing and controlling them. So let's say our darker parts that we don't like to acknowledge, um, where maybe even when we've been foolish or made bad choices that we don't like to think about, or things that's happened to us in the past when we were children and we kind of put to the back, forgot about it, left it there, and it festered. And we, let me think of other examples. You know what I'm getting the gist of? That becomes hell. Now, facing these things take a lot of courage, but fortune favors the bold, okay? You got to be strong enough to face those things that you hate about yourself and others. And you got to ask yourself why you feel that way, okay? So we're just gonna, we all create our own hell. That is the big message. And we create it through denying the darker forces of life, the darker. Somebody right now might be going through hell. I drew this card for the Divine Masculine read today to study it a little bit ahead of time, to meditate on it and think about it, right? And I realized that we've all been through our own hell. When I heard that, I was like, yeah, there's been parts of myself. I used to say a long time ago, through my 30s into my 40s, they'd ask me something. I'm like, oh, I don't remember that. I put it behind the black curtain. I actually had a curtain that I wore in my mind, and everything that I went through that was tragic went behind the curtain. I didn't even think about it. I kind of would ignore it and move forward because I just didn't. I thought focusing on the past and all the negative things would drag me down. But in reality, I wasn't solving the conflicts that I was facing. The conflicts that was within myself, the conflicts that was going on around me. And so realizing that I had created, my own hell. And man, it took a lot of time to work through that. But, I did. So, don't deny yourself. Don't take parts of yourself and fracture them off and say, I don't like me there. I don't like me there. I don't like me there. So you're fracturing pieces of your power off of you instead of looking at it and asking it what can be done to help you and your darker side come to a healing point, and then using that as a stepping stone to elevate yourself, your vibration, your spirit, healing that, and then being able to move forward, working through anything that you have, forgiving, allowing, or if it's something terribly wrong, you can ask God for judgment. As above, so below. So, and God, our creator source, the source of creation, is God of both heaven and hell, or good and evil. And what do we call evil? Evil is what would hurt us, okay? And it is evil to not accept the parts of yourself that you don't like, because you're fracturing yourself off, and you will begin to get darker and darker and sicker, and really begin to be so confused as that you don't know what the hell's going on. Regression. So I often wonder if that could be a part of dementia and Alzheimer's, where you put so much back behind the curtain or in hell, and you kind of just lose yourself, and you just become this, whatever this is, with no mind, which is our spirit, right? So we do not want to mess with the brain by taking things that are true and kind of like screwing it up, right? We have to face truth, we have to honor it, then we have to accept it, then we have to forgive it. Why? So that anger and hate will quit running through our brain, because anger and hate is low vibrational and will kind of, I feel like it might, take down the electrical current that is in your brain that helps you to think. These are just spiritual concepts. I'm not sure that they're real or not, but I do know this: when I allow myself to focus on things that I go through and contemplate on them and think of a way to work it out, and keep working on figuring a way to work it out, it always works out. It always works out one way or another. And I think God and the universe is built that way. Okay, guys, we're going to roll the dice. And as usual, I'm giving my opinion. Look, I had my own journey to the underworld. And because I can see energy, I literally saw this, thing into the underworld. I praise God because Jesus was with me. And I don't know whose hell we went to, but in there was quite a few interesting things once I was no longer scared of hell and realized it was just a place where we put our most miserable parts of ourselves, where we break pieces off of ourselves and say, oh, I don't like that. I'm not going to look at that. So we can't do that, because every piece we have on us is our life experience. Wow. We got the South Node. That's hell. And that freaks me out because I drew the underworld card, okay? Wow. And again, the underworld is those things that we put away without contemplating, thinking about what happened, healing from it, loving ourselves, and accepting ourselves wholly as still a beautiful, beautiful soul or person or whatever you consider yourself to be, if you're a follower of the Holy Spirit, love, peace, goodwill to life. Because on this channel we worship life. We don't worship material things. We just worship that we're alive and that we can walk outside and see the beauty of the sky and the beauty of the earth and even contemplate on that, right? We want to use our mind to focus on beautiful things. So maybe, again, somebody out there is really going through a dark night of the soul, because we've got this in their south node. Yeah. Okay, and we have Taurus, materialistic. If it's with the south node, Taurus is, in its best note, it is loving. It wants to build something that lasts in relationships, okay? It wants to make sure relationships are moving forward. Taurus is the glue that holds a relationship together. Love, Venus, gentleness, romance, adventure, flowers and sweet words and, elbow bumps once in a while, hugs, all those things like that. But in the South Node, kind of lusty, cheating, not, not following along and doing the right thing. Not doing the right thing for the right reasons. Let's just say this: materialistic, money. This could be pointing a finger towards the one percenters. Maybe they're going through a hard time right now. Judgment is upon us. Yeah, I call judgment. I call judgment on them. Yeah, I'm not afraid. God judge me all God wants. I'm not afraid. I do the right thing for the right reason so I can be here working through judgment with God. Hey, I've been judged. I got my ass kicked by God more times than I can count. I've dreamed of the underworld. I've been to the underworld. I saw it with my own two eyes. I know it exists. It was a very sad place. And lonely and dark. Melancholy. Everybody was like this. It wasn't torture. It wasn't anything like that. It was sad and uneventful and stagnant. You know, hell, everybody maybe has a different hell. Maybe that was my hell, you know, to be stagnant and sad. And when, you know, in my life, I know that being happy, and even if you're only happy because you're alive, because you're experiencing something, you know, in between life and death, you know, in between life and death, we're experiencing this world. And as I have said before, when we die, our memory, you know, we've heard it many times that their whole lifetime will flash before their eyes. The soul leaving the body, the emotional soul, the etheric waters taking the soul with it. To die just means to transform into a new form without a material body. That's why you want to love your body like it's the best Ferrari you ever got. I wish I'd have known that 20 years ago, but now I know it, so it's better I'll know in my next life, right? And that's something too. We always have our next life to look forward to. You want to see the pretty puppies? There's Aura. Look, yeah, there's Mama. Oh, Mama. Yeah, and they're tearing up my notebook and my paperwork. And I expect for the whole place to be in a disaster for the next few months with these babies. Okay, we've got Joan. Now today, after I listened to a program, this makes me think of Joan of Arc, France. Um, you know, she was strong. She led a big parade. I need to read about her. But she turned against the church, or one of the churches that were holding them under attack. It was turning of a new leaf. I also wanted to mention that in the underworld thing and the materialistic stuff going on with the Taurus in there, we also had a 10, which means the new beginning. This could be out in the collective, right? And turning a new leaf means accepting yourself for who you are. Look, until you stop lying to yourself, you'll never be able to. I don't know why I said that, but here it is. If you lie to yourself, you're your own biggest fool. If you stay naive without looking into the things, you will, you know, keep up with the flow, transform. And it looks like that's what's going on here, because we've got this flower, which is a poinsettia around Christmas time. And then we have this flower, which is, you know, a daisy, which comes in the springtime. So maybe there's going to be a big transformation going on, and at the end of it, possibly the whole planet could be working in harmony. But we all got to clean out our hell. Not, everybody has their own hell. The things they hide, the masks they wear, and, the parts about ourselves, the worst parts of ourselves that we don't want to face are the parts that we need to love the most. They really need the most love, okay? They really do. And, how do we love ourselves? We show love to ourselves. I got the child here. Giving oneself a treat, I guess, according to the resources you have on hand. If you have nothing, show yourself love by sitting down, closing your eyes, and just taking 5 minutes to breathe and clear your mind. That's what people, and in your mind, maybe imagine a world that you would like to be a part of while you're taking that 5 minutes to envision a world that would be, would make you happy. And see, if you can begin to change the subconscious. This is the subconscious, the underworld, the hidden world. Yeah. Okay. So what else can we let the people know, Creator, about the underworld? Boy, my nose is itching. About the underworld and how to clean it out. I cleaned out my underworld. After Jesus showed me where my hell was, I continued to go back over the years. I actually went down to hell for several years to clean things out down there. And I was still, light. And I'm still light. And, I've faced quite a few demons since I have been a part of God's crew. I know they exist. I've seen them. And, these things could possibly be these powerful parts of ourselves that we set to the side, that we no longer want to deal with, that are in us. But all we need to do is master them, love them, get to know them, and then we don't want to tame them or buckle them. It's a part of who we are. We are light, we are dark, we are male, we are female. And so, this is all about balancing out our powers that are within us, that we were given at our creation, but must reach a certain level of maturity to achieve them, right? So that means we've got to face all of our own demons before we can ever help anybody face their own. And even if we never help anybody face their own, at least we are healing. We're healing ourselves and becoming a better member for our family, for our friends, a leader, a guide, someone to look up to that's, just doing the right thing for the right reasons, and whatever that means to you. Because your heart will tell you. The universe can read your heart. The universe reads your mind. It's all energy. We're all connected. Okay. Advice. This is crazy. I love God. Master your light and master your darkness. What does that mean? Love yourself wholly. Okay, let's say you have an argument with a family member, right? And this is what happened to me yesterday, okay? I had a big argument with my granddaughter about things I wanted to do. while she's here. And she kind of ignored me and walked out the door. She's 24. She's been on her own for a long time, doing what she wants and when she wants it. And I had to go out and tell her again, and she got, ignored that. So by the time the next day come, I was like really pissed off. And when I greeted her with that energy and attitude, she's like, wow, where'd that come from? Well, it come from a couple day buildup, you see. So I had this darkness in me. I understood that I had this. I decided to use it to tell her exactly what I thought of her and what I wanted her to do and how I wanted her to do it. And it wasn't that I was trying to control her. It was that I wanted my room cleaned up. Not my room, but the dining room where she's hanging out at now, I wanted the bed picked up, everything folded, and I wanted it to look like the dining room. So I did eventually get my way, but we kind of went through hell. She packed her bag. She said, I'm leaving. I'm like, okay, see you later. I love you no matter what. And so eventually, she come to the front porch, said it was hot. She didn't want to go nowhere. And she said she'd do her room. And so, that's a part of darkness. We accepted it. We loved each other afterwards, and there was no residue. We both came to the conclusion, I got what I wanted, she got what, she didn't get what she wanted, but she did in a way, because she knows now that, she's going to have to do things if she's going to be here with me. And so another form of darkness is having something done to you, through your childhood, something you couldn't prevent that was out of your hands. This could probably build up a lot of darkness. And, trauma and darkness without being resolved will actually really, 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 really do you in. Resolving it. And do I have any of this trauma? Have I had trauma like that? Yeah. And, I've been given the examples because I just want people to know that no matter what you go through, you could come out of. So I swore on my baby's life to God that I would not smoke pot. I was 16 years old. And I did this to my mom. My mom made me swear, and I didn't know that I shouldn't do this. And this also tells you how close I am to the elements and to that which is out there that was kicking my ass from the very beginning. And so my mom said, swear to God on your daughter's life you won't smoke pot. And I'm like, oh, Mom, why? And I did. And she died that night. Yeah, that was a kick in the fucking teeth. Most people wouldn't even talk about this. But I talk about it to let people know that we can come back from anything. God will, if we learn our lessons, God will bring us back. Now, I still smoke pot. I mean, I do. But what was the lesson? We're told not to swear. The lesson was for me is that no matter what I do, if I do good, God will bless me, and if I do bad, God's going to whoop me. And I knew that, and it was scary. Or the God of this world, okay? I'm not talking about the God of life, the God of love, the God of good. There is a God of this world. And because I was so low vibrational, the God of this world heard that, which I think the God of this world hated me from the very beginning, or really wanted to try and test me. So, do I believe in heaven and hell? Oh, hell yeah, I do. Have I seen heaven and hell? Yes. And we create our own hell. I've seen that. And we create our own heaven. yeah, we create our own heaven, our own good too. And we get accountability for both. For both. So, you know, if you're heavy, transmute divine masculines, sit in a chair, take 5 minutes to clear your mind, and call on the ethers, the Holy Spirit that is within you already, that whatever it is, when it leaves, it takes the memories and you see the last things before you pass to the next world. This is already inside of you. It's the ethers. And ask for help and expansion of the powers that be within you. If that's, if you need the help, ask for it. Ask for it. Ask the God within. Honor the God within you that's already there. Queen of Earth. Yep. Ask the God that's within you. The spirit of life. Earth has the spirit of life, right? Without the skin, we don't feel. The feelings that we have come from all the nerves and stuff that we have in our body, right? Right. So when we leave this world and we're in the ethers, we don't have feelings. We can see, we can understand what we already know. We don't lose any of that. And then we take on the etheric body. Maybe fire, an atom or a particle or something like that, right? In the quantum field, as we wait and rest and decide when to come back again. X, 10 of Pentacles. That's a good life. It's a good life. It should be a good life on this side and that side. What else? This says to me, this is the Four Waters. And I see this guy looking in the mirror. Michael Jackson, the man in the mirror. It all starts with you, Divine Masculine. Your life is in your hands. I think I read that in the Bible somewhere too. I should read the Bible again. I haven't read the Bible for about 15 years. I studied it for a long time. But yeah, your life is in your hands. Look, take a long look at yourself. Take a long look at who you are. This is about focusing all your energy on you and looking in that mirror and asking yourself, are you happy with who you are? I understand this. There was a time, yeah, I can even talk about this, like when all my kids got taken away, all my grandkids got taken away. I was called I'd already had an account with child services and stuff, so I would not be allowed to take my grandchildren. This is when I had to take a long, hard, dark look at who I was. I was so depressed. I felt like I lived in a coffin. Yeah, I mean, my whole family, everything I thought was good had been destroyed. And, I became homeless around that time. So I had to take a long, hard look at myself.